children why we need to look at things with different eyes. And then we have the Earth Science group. And this is the group that's dearest to my heart, that I work with the most. And because they're trying to answer questions about problems that we have. You like flagging, I need to stir up. Thanks. We have many satellites orbiting the Earth. The Earth observing satellites, there's a whole train of them. And what they do is they monitor the Earth for different things. Now, these two images I put here because they are recent things that have happened. The two at the top are the before and after images of a tsunami that was in 2004. You can see what the beach looked like before the tsunami, and now on the other side of 2004, you can see some of that whirlpool action that you get when a tsunami comes in. It actually caught that. The image below is the one that just happened this year in Japan. And so, over on the left-hand side, what you're seeing is a false color image, and the red is vegetation. So, on the left side, you can see all the red vegetation that was there. Over here on this side, you see that it's just been wiped away. Just bare earth is left behind. You can also see where now there are inland lakes as a result of this catastrophe that happened. Now, you can get these type of images already done online to show in your classroom, but you can also create these yourself. Land change images using Landsat, and it's super easy. It sounds like something that would be really hard, but it's not. You can download this data from USGS, you take it into a program like Photoshop, you adjust it, so that you can do your own land change images. So let's say you're teaching in the town of Kalamazoo. And 30 years ago, Kalamazoo was this little spot in Tennessee or wherever you are. But now it's a huge metropolitan city. You can get an image of it when it was 30 years younger, an image now, and see how it has changed over time. Kids really like to see these things. And this is really super easy to do, and if you want to know how to do it, all you have to do is contact me and I'll walk you through it. Another interesting satellite mission that we had that's been up around 9 or 10 years is GRACE. And I talk about GRACE because I just think it's a unique one. This mission is doing something that we just take for granted every day. It's measuring gravity, measuring the differences of gravity of the Earth. That's a gross exaggeration of gravity differences on Earth, but we never really think about the fact that we know that gravity is based on mass, but we really don't think about the fact that the Earth isn't mass equally out. At least I never really thought about it much, and that if you have an area where there's more mass, the gravity is going to be different than a place where you have less mass. And so what GRACE is doing is mapping that. Now why would we want to do this? Because this opens up some things we were never able to do. Teaching the water cycle. We all have seen the water cycle, and we see that the rain comes down and it filtrates through the ground and it runs through the gravel and stuff to the ocean. We took that on face value. We really honestly didn't know that for sure because you couldn't see it. There's no way to see through the Earth to see that the water is actually trickling somewhere else. We just, made an assumption. Now we can see this. So now we're able to track the movement of groundwater, which is important. Do not buy land out west. So before I would buy land anywhere, I'd want to see the GRACE data. And that's the wonderful thing about NASA. You can download all the data and see it yourself. So before I would make a huge land purchase, trust me, this is truly what I would do. It also allows us to see changes in areas in the poles in Greenland. We knew that they were melting. We could see the marginal melt. You can see it was this big one day and now it's this big. But how much of it came off the top? We don't know, but now we do. Because now we can measure that by gravity difference. And so, all the stuff that I just talked about, now I get to what's important to you. How do you find the materials based on this? One of the great things about NASA is when it was created, someone had the forethought and wisdom to say, you know what, I'm going to put this in here as part of their job. Everything that they do, they must create education materials about it. Had they not done that, granted, I'm sure it would never have happened. But they have to do it. So all research, every mission, they have to create education materials related to what they're doing so that the public and that children But everything is starting to get digitized. There is a huge volume of information that you can download off the internet. Everything we do now is now put on the internet, and all the old stuff is being put on the internet. And so, where do you go to get this stuff? Well, they tell me to tell you to go to the NASA portal. Okay, I told you that. If anyone in this room has ever been to the NASA portal, raise your hand if you've ever been to the NASA portal. Oh, the lady in the back, that was hilarious. She goes, I didn't tell from the expression on your face, but you're going to agree with what I'm going to say. You go to the NASA portal and you put in a search, and you will get 1 million hits. Literally, I kid you not, even more sometimes. And you're thinking to yourself as a teacher, they are out of their mind if they think I'm going to look through this. Because out of that 1,999,000 of them will probably suck. And I'm supposed to try to find the one that's good. So that's why I'm here, to help you sift through all that stuff and find the ones that are good. Because as a former teacher for 13 years, trust me, I know no one has time to do that. Plus, there are a lot of things that, I hate to say it, even NASA puts out stuff that sucks. I mean, they have really good stuff too. I shouldn't say that shit. Oh wait, anyway, you can tell I was a teacher, I tell it like this. We also have NASA Core. NASA Core is a clearinghouse for materials. I suggest you go to this site, sign up to get their catalog, look through their catalog, see if there's anything in their catalog they want, you would like, and then send me an email and ask me if I can get it for free. That always works best, free. Each state also has an education resource center, and unfortunately New York does not have one right now. So if there are any university people in here that are interested in becoming a depository for NASA materials for the state of New York, see me, because we do not have one. And so another big thing for teachers is citizen science. Every day, millions and millions of terabytes of information comes down from these satellites that we have. There is no way we can employ enough people to go through all of that data. It just is not possible. And therefore, we need help. And so NASA and some of the other partners have created what they call citizen science websites, where you can go, you can get some training of how to read the data, and then you can read the data. And then if you find something in the data that is interesting, that, hey, I found something cool, then you send that information back in, and you get credit for it if you discover something. And some people have discovered some interesting things. And so even kids can do this. There are some set up specifically for kids, there's some set up for university scientists, there's some set up for just the general public. But citizen science is the new thing. It's big. Kids love it because they feel like they're contributing. One of the ones that is most popular is called Schools, S''COOLS. This is one where kids actually are ground-proofing the satellite's data. The satellite Cirrus flies over several times a day, and it's looking at clouds. The satellite can only see a cloud. It can't determine what made that cloud. Contours that come from planes look like clouds to the satellite. But a person on the ground will be able to tell the difference. And so every day a student would go outside, they will be taught what clouds to look for and what different clouds look like and where they are, whether they're low, medium, or high clouds. And so the kids would make their observations, go back into the classroom, get online, put the data in that they have, and see if their observation matches what the satellite's observation has. And they have been able to make a lot of adjustments to what the satellite sees based on what the kids have told them, which is really the coolest part of all, because the kids are really contributing to the science. And so this is a very, very popular site, and all you have to do is go and sign up, and they send you all the materials that you need to do